What does it mean to dream? And I mean to really dream. Not just the kind that happens when you fall asleep at night, although I love that kind too. But the kind that lights up your imagination and fuels your goals. The kind that makes you want to jump out of bed in the morning. That's what we're going to talk about today. Hi, I'm Elianna and welcome to my channel where we explore all things creativity. I hope you find some inspiration here. If you've ever been told to be more realistic, or maybe you're a realist and that's never been told to you in your life, then this video is for you. I'm here to tell you that dreaming isn't useless. It's vision for your life. It's daring to believe that the impossible just might be possible. Dreams are where creativity begins. If you really think about it, every amazing thing starts with an idea. Every painting, every song, and every breakthrough invention started with someone saying, "What if?" Dreaming can feel risky. What if it doesn't work out? What if no one believes in you? Well, you're in good company, because even the greatest creators face doubts. But they kept going, because they knew inside that their dreams mattered, and they were right. Take Edison, for example. With the light bulb, he's said to have tried thousands of times before finally getting it right. He's also known to have said, "I haven't failed, I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." He believed that each unsuccessful attempt at whatever he was doing was one step closer to him actually finding the correct method and becoming successful. I think sometimes we can tend to think our dreams are just our grand ideas of what our life should look like. And sometimes they might be, but I think it's a lot deeper than that. And I believe that a lot of our dreams actually aren't just our own ideas, but God-given dreams for our lives. I want to look at a couple of scriptures. First up, where there is no revelation, people cast off restraint, but blessed is the one who heeds wisdom's instruction. Proverbs 29:18. I think this really speaks to the importance of having vision for your life. When we are walking with Jesus, He will actually give us dreams and desires and passions that aren't just random, but part of His plan for our life. You may have heard this one before. It's Jeremiah 29:11, and it says, "For I know the thoughts I think towards you, says the Lord, thoughts of peace and not of evil, to give you a future and a hope." And later in verse 13, "And you will seek me and find me when you search for me with all of your heart." I feel like this is super important for us to remember. Whether all of our ideas come true or not, He has the ultimate best plan for us. I personally am a big dreamer, and so sometimes I get to thinking, well, are my dreams too big? But I'm here to encourage you that God has exceedingly more than you could ask or imagine. Even the craziest, wildest dream that you could have, God has already planned something incredible for you that will exceed even your biggest, greatest imaginations. And I've already seen this come true in my life. And yeah, sometimes our dreams don't turn out the way that we imagined, but when we actually align our hearts with His, then we will never be disappointed. Okay, what happens when things don't go as planned? It can feel hard to dream. Maybe you put your heart into a project and it didn't work out, or you faced rejection. Disappointment is super real, and it can make it hard for us to even want to dream anymore. But here's the truth. Disappointment is not the end of your story. It might be a chapter, but it's not the conclusion. I believe that disappointment is actually a chance for us to lean into hope even when we don't feel like it, especially when it comes to our dreams. It's a chance to trust even when we don't understand. And I face this a lot. But something I've learned is hope is a choice that we can make. You might ask, how do you remain hopeful when things don't seem to be working out? Legit, my only answer is Jesus. To bring it back around to this, Isaiah 40 verse 31, I think that's it, says, "Those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles." This is such a beautiful picture of what hope looks like, because I think when we can get into this place where we're actually hoping against all hope, which is hard to do, by the way. When it seems like nothing is working out, it's hard to have that feeling of hope. But hope isn't just a feeling. This new level of hope, you'll actually feel so much lighter in your day-to-day life. and it will take you to new heights. Now, hope isn't about just ignoring reality. It's about trusting that the God who makes all things beautiful in his time has a plan for you, and in the end, his best will work out. And yeah, that can be scary, but having courage isn't about not being afraid per se. It's about trusting God more than your fears, and not giving up on these dreams. I'd encourage you to start small if you need to. Maybe start revisiting old dreams with a new perspective, or maybe try exploring something brand new. The point is to keep moving forward. I have a t-shirt about that, by the way. Write your dreams down. Talk to someone you trust about your goals, and be someone who believes in the impossible, and watch it change your life. I know an example from my own life. I had always dreamed of having a dog when I was a child. Always, always, always. And it never really worked out. Number one, because my mom had allergies, and I technically kind of had allergies also. Yeah, they were actually pretty bad. But I didn't care because I love dogs. And so for years and years, I actually kept dreaming about this idea of one day having a dog, specifically a Siberian Husky, because it's not my favorite dog, by the way. And it never really seemed to work out until years and years later, from the time that I had actually had this dream in my heart. My grandparents were moving back. They ended up actually getting the house right next door to us. I had the thought go through my head, oh, I wonder, like, maybe they could have the dog at their house and we could come and visit and it could be like our shared dog, you know what I mean? And we talked about it before, but it didn't really seem like it was gonna work out. And so I kept this in my heart and kept talking about it a little bit as well. And eventually what ended up happening is my grandpa said that for his birthday, all he really wanted was another husky, because we used to have a husky a long, long time ago. And so he kept saying it too, which was crazy. It would be his first birthday here living with us. And the crazy thing is, in our neighborhood, there was actually a Siberian Husky that needed to be rehomed because the owners couldn't take care of him anymore. And they wanted it to be someone in the neighborhood. They wanted it to be someone who'd owned huskies before, and they wanted, you know, to make sure that it's going to a good family where he'd be properly loved. And so my parents actually knew about this for a while, and they were like, oh, like, I wonder if this could be it, because Grandpa's been asking for this also. And, you know, it just seemed like everything was lining up. Meanwhile, I had no idea. And so I think it was the day before his birthday, I could be wrong, they ended up actually walking the dog over to meet all of us, and I was like, why are we meeting this dog? I didn't understand at all. And eventually my parents told me we're thinking of adopting him. And so what ended up happening was we adopted him, and he got to live at Grandma and Grandpa's house and share both of our yards, and he became our family dog. It all happened so perfectly. It was genuinely a miracle, and that's why we named him Miracle. And that's a little bit about the story of our dog. He now actually lives in this house with us because my grandparents passed. And I've actually been doing a lot better with my allergies. Crazy, right? It's like God had this plan from the beginning, and he is so faithful. He knows the desires of our hearts, and he wants to actually give them to us when they align with his will. Maybe you don't have specific dreams for your life. Well, I want to encourage you to ask the Lord, because he wants to speak to you, and he has an amazing plan for you. All right, now let's get practical. Here are some simple tips to help you start moving forward on your dreams. Number one, write it down. Scientific studies actually show that you're 42% or so more likely to achieve a goal if you write it down. Get specific. Instead of just, I want to be creative, maybe write something like, I will paint one new piece of art this month. Find something that you can commit to. Number two, break it into steps. Big dreams can feel overwhelming, so breaking them into bite-sized pieces can also work really well. Want to write a book? Start with an outline. Want to learn an instrument? You could commit to practicing for maybe 15 minutes a day. It's a start. 3, find inspiration. Remember, creativity fuels creativity. You could even watch documentaries, join online communities, or find like-minded people and encourage each other. This is a big one. I love being around my family because we all want to pursue creative things, and so it's really cool to get to spur each other on. And I think that helps a lot. Number 4, stay consistent. This one's a bit harder even for me, but small consistent efforts beat occasional bursts of effort. For the most part. Make time for your dream, even if it's short. Even if there doesn't seem to be any action that you can take, there's always something, even if it's simply talking to a friend or talking to the Lord about that dream. Number 5, trust. Celebrate the small wins and don't let failure stop you. Learn to find joy in the journey and hope. How have you found the courage to dream? And what keeps you in a place of hope? What's a dream that's been placed in your heart? Here's your challenge. Drop it in the comments below and let's encourage and support each other. I'd love to hear your story, and it just might encourage someone else who found this video. C.S. Lewis once said, "You're never too old to set a new goal or dream a new dream." I'd like to add that you're never too young. Keep dreaming. And I'll see you next time. Bye. I should go find out. I'm filming right now, actually. It's a video about dreams, and it actually has a lot to do with hope. And I was planning this before we talked about this last night, so yeah, I'd love to do one about those kind of dreams though. That'll be fun. Keep dreaming. I don't know, that's cliche. Who cares if it's cliche?